Okay, hey everybody, how's it going? It's Charlie Morgan and welcome to another video. So for those of you who do not know who I am, I've built and scaled an agency called Northflow Consulting, and now I help other people basically build and scale their own agencies. Now, what I want to do in today's video is go ahead and cover a topic. I'm not sure what I'm going to title this video yet, but I want to sort of cover the topic of digital efficiency, right? And how to not get distracted when you're using your laptop or your phone or your computer to work. And I've constructed my devices and my digital life to have the smallest possibility for distraction. And if you're going to watch one video as you head into next year or whenever you're watching this video, and you want to become more efficient and more productive at work, then this video is probably going to be the most useful thing that you could watch. Now, I was actually going to add this to our paid training program, and that's just how much I value this sort of information. But for now, I thought, since you're watching this on YouTube, you probably already have a problem, depending on how you've got everything set up and constructed. And so today I want to walk you through the hacks. Now, the new business that we've got is called Imperium Agency. And don't worry, this is not a pitch. I want to just sort of give you some context here. An Imperium Agency is a coaching business and helps marketing agencies systemize so they can get more clients and grow and have more fun. And in the last, 11 months, we started it in January, but we really started selling it in February. The last 7 months, we've basically gone from 0 to about 120 to 130 paying clients. And we've made a lot of money, and we've built probably the most incredible product for helping agencies, and you can ask any of our clients and they'll agree. And one of the most common questions I get from clients and from other people is like, how on earth have you been as productive as you've been? And in our program, we've got over 200 videos. We've got, is it over 200? I think so. We've got like 200 videos and lessons on everything from service delivery to client acquisition. And the videos we have aren't like quick, 5-minute videos that give you no context. You can ask clients, they're like, 2 to 3 hour monsters that basically walk you through everything in step by step. And so it's taken a lot of work to do that. And it would probably take most people like 3 or 4 years to build that thing, let alone sign loads of clients on the go, build support systems, build community systems, hire people. And so we've done a lot. And that's not me sort of like trying to flex my productivity or how busy I've been on you guys, but I wanted to sort of give you some context because that's impossible. And building a business from 0 to, basically a 7-figure run rate in 12 months is not an easy thing to do unless you're able to focus, right, extremely well and not get distracted by things, not only in your environment, but most importantly, on this little fucker, right? And also this little fucker, right? We need to figure out how to construct and design our digital lives so that we can actually become more efficient and not get distracted. Because, if you're working on Facebook or if you're using YouTube or if you've got email or whatever it is, you're going to get distracted by so much shit all the time, and it's really going to eat into your ability to actually get anything done. And so I'm really excited for this one because I'm going to walk you through some of the most extreme and incredible hacks that I've found to make myself 10 times more efficient online and just basically get more out of my devices. Okay, so what I'm going to do in a second here is hop into Loom on my computer and sort of walk through what I do on my computer, because that's where most of my work's done. It's where I spend 10 to 12 hours a day. And if I didn't have that sort of built in the way I had it, then I'd be fucked, right? But before that, I want to walk you through what how I have my phone set up. Now, if I didn't have family and friends, I would not have this device, right? The sole and only purpose of this phone is to contact people that I love, right? I use it for nothing else. I've only got 2 messaging apps on here. I've got no social media apps. I've got iMessage and WhatsApp. And that's how I keep in touch with my family and friends. Because the last thing I want to do is make my family talk to me through Slack, right? That's just probably not the most human thing to do. I know people that do that, but it kind of ruins the, you want to have a bit of life, right? And so the first thing you'll observe about this is my sort of background, right? It just says hard work is the goal. Now I want you to think about something for a second. Think about how many times you pick this thing up and how many times you look at this lock screen. And not only that, but how many times that you look at the app screen as well. If you're picking this thing up and using it routinely and it's a bad habit, then you might as well get some value out of doing that activity. And so what I figured out you can do is you can basically imprint an affirmation or an idea or a belief you want to instill in yourself. And then that way you're subconsciously just looking at it. Just, let's say you pick this thing up. God, most people pick up their phones like 10, 20, 30 times an hour. They just can't put them down. They're just constantly I was watching Spectre, the James Bond film yesterday. And I was with one of my friends, and we were watching it, and I noticed that the dude couldn't just put his phone down. I love him to bits, but I was just there for 2 hours and 40 minutes, whatever it is, just watching the screen. And then he would every time he'd be like, oh, just okay, nothing, but and it's just and you can actually track this. And I don't know if I've even got it turned on here because I never use my phone anyway. But you can actually track this in your, let's see, in your phone here. I don't know if I can actually, so what you can see here is you've got the ability to track your screen time. And so this is my sort of screen time, basically just consists of the main things I need. So the only apps that I use or that I most use, if you sort of look through here, right, apps that actually add value to my life and help me do what I want to do on my phone. So for example, the first one you can see is Maps. So I was using that yesterday. This is, where are we here? Why are we on Monday the 6th of December? Let's just take this as an example. This is an average Monday, right? So Maps, 31 minutes. So I was driving to go and get something done, clearly, and I just had my Maps open in my car so I could see where I was going. And then the only thing behind that is WhatsApp, which I was using for 23 minutes. And I check WhatsApp probably twice a day, and I'll send the way I sort of talk to friends mostly is, first of all, if one of my friends is watching this, they'll know that I'm not going to be messaging you back and forth all the time. I'll reply to you maybe once a day with a long voice note or something. And so WhatsApp, you can see there's 23 minutes I spent on WhatsApp. This is just a random Monday. And this theme will continue, right? So this is Tuesday, the 7th of December. So what we can see here is messages is the topmost thing. And I've got 29 minutes on there. So I must have been talking to my family, because the only conversation I have on messages is my family. And then we can see on Wednesday, the 8th of December, it's the same thing. So WhatsApp is 50 minutes, messages is 15 minutes. And then Tuesday, same thing, And then the only other apps other than that, so if you take this one, so Maps, WhatsApp, you got Google Calendar. So that's obviously where I have my calendar on my phone just so I can check what the hell is going on, basically. And then other than that, you've just got you've got what down here, SoundCloud, contacts for whatever reason, Aura, which is the sleep tracking device that I used. I got some time on Safari, and then I've got 9 seconds on YouTube here. So I don't have YouTube on my phone, but I think I downloaded it to quickly look at something, and then I realized I don't want this on my phone, so I just literally deleted it. But that's the theme that basically just continues through my phone. It really is just WhatsApp and messages is where if it's more than an hour a day, something's seriously wrong. And it's just literally all I'm doing on those apps is just replying to people or talking to friends or arranging meetups or talking to my family or something like that. That's really all there is to it, right? And so the only other big one might be something like Spotify, right? If I'm listening to music, you can sort of see that there. So I would invite you to do this, because first things first is you need to recognize what you need to get rid of. So if you want to sort of see what my phone looks like, I've got hard work is the goal written in the middle, because I'm trying to sort of, and I'm making great progress towards this, but I want my core belief, thing that really underpins all my work, is just to understand that I don't care about the outcome of my work. I only care about the work itself. And that's really cool things happen when you do that, because I woke up this morning and I was like, fuck, I cannot wait to get to work. Yesterday was Sunday, I always take Sunday off, but I was itching throughout the day to be I want to get back to work. So hard work is the goals in the middle. And then I have my calendar down here, so that if I'm, thing is, I never use this, right? It's only ever in the evenings, where I'll check it once in the morning to reply to friends and family, and then I check it again in the evenings. Having this in my hand at 8:49 a.m. feels weird, right? Because it's just there's no point. If you're working, right, and this is just there, and it's sort of just chilling there, just sat there, then your brain cannot get rid of it. You've got to imagine that your brain is like a computer, and it only has so much processing power. And the more shit you have in your environment that it needs to process or consider or think about, then you're fucked. So to get rid of my phone, like the first thing I did, and my business partner Bo will be able to tell you this, is I would go and lock it in my car throughout the day when I was working, because I used to have a massive problem with this thing. So that's the first thing, okay, is just, you know, check your screen time, look at where your time's going, and just you'll be completely like scared. You look at it and be like, fuck, Instagram? Holy shit, did I really spend like 3 hours on that yesterday? Like TikTok, I spent like 5 hours on that over the weekend. That's like, you know, that's terrifying. Like if you imagine you spend an hour a day on Instagram, Christ, that's like, you know, 370 hours of a year of your life. That's not fun. You know, over the course of 10 years, that's a lot of time. So the second thing is the app structure I've got. Now you don't have to sort of structure your apps in this sort of like real minimalistic way, but what you'll see is I have this single page here, and then I hate this, by the way, this app library thing they introduced, but I can't get rid of it. And so in terms of apps that I have, I only have apps that I actually need or that are really useful. So if I open one folder, for example, you know this is focusing properly, but what you can see is I've got settings, I've got Shazam, then I've got Bang & Olufsen app for this monster of a speaker here, because I like music, weather, contacts, and that's pretty much it. And then, you know, I've got my banking here, I've got Safari, music, messaging. This is the folder I use the most. And this is like, you know, I've grouped these here so that like, I'm right-handed. So this is the closest thing to where I want to go. The easiest way to stop using an app is delete it, but the second easiest way is to make it as far away as possible, especially since phones are so big. So like when I used to have like Facebook Messenger on my phone for work, I would bury it in a folder up here and make myself have to go through the folder like 10 times to actually get to the app. And like what I found is that just by having, you know, to tap up there and then swipe like 10 times to get to the app, I'd catch myself and be like, why are you going on this app? You don't need to. But eventually I realized just deleting it made more sense. And I've taken this to the extreme where like when I do outreach, I now have a separate phone for outreach. And like I'm recording this video on that phone, right? And it's what I have nothing else on it. So yeah, other than that, I have some apps like other banking apps, like Uber on here, and that's basically it, right? And then, so like each of these folders only has like 9 apps in it. And then there's obviously apps that Apple don't let you delete, like the App Store and all that shit. But really that's it. So that's the first thing that's becoming way more efficient, is just delete everything that doesn't add value or contribute to your goal. Like look at what you want to get in the next 12 months, like the goal you've got, like 10K a month, 100K a month. And then look at the shit you have on here that literally sabotages your ability to take action towards getting that goal, and just delete it. And I can promise you, when you first do it, it will be horrible, because your brain is so rooted into these fucking dopamine feedback loops that, you know, you delete Instagram and you delete Snapchat and you delete TikTok and all that crap, and then you're just wiped out. And then, you know, for the first like 1 or 2 weeks, you'll be just totally anxious. But the cool thing about that is that anxiety is like energy, and it's like a vacuum, right? And your brain doesn't know what the fuck to do with this void of the few hours a day that you usually spend scrolling through this bullshit. And so the second best thing it will do is it will fulfill your second most common activity, which is probably the work with the activity you should be doing. So it's quite effective. Now, obviously, it goes without saying that I do not even have notifications on here, right? I've basically, first of all, I don't really talk to anyone, full stop. But even then, like, I don't actually have notifications on my phone in any way, shape or form. So if I go to my notifications here, right, what you'll see is literally like my notifications are basically off. If I just top in here, they're off for basically everything. So like, you know, messages off, WhatsApp off, because that way, like, my phone can't come to me, I have to go to my phone. So you sort of reverse that power. The only thing I have notifications on for is reminders. So like if I've got to do something, I need to be reminded of it. And then phone. So like if someone needs to call me urgently, they can. But I work with this like in a kitchen drawer all day, and then I check it at the end of the day. So if someone needs to contact me and there's an emergency, there's no real way to do that, except to call another number that I have like a little phone turned on that it's literally for emergencies only, but it's one of those little Nokias. So like I've told my family, I'm like, look, if you need me, you can call me on this, but do not call me on this because it's not that. And funny thing is nobody's called me for like the past year of doing that. So yeah, I've got this little like Nokia brick thing. It's like buried in there, but if it rings, it fucking rings. You know how those things go. So I don't need it, but it's just there. I can't do anything on it other than play Snake maybe. But yeah, so that's the first thing with the phone, is just delete everything that you don't need. And you'll justify shit, and you'll be like, oh, but I do need Instagram, or I do need TikTok, or I do need this. You don't need Facebook on your phone. You don't need Instagram on your phone. You don't need YouTube on your phone. You don't need Snapchat on your phone. You don't need all these. You don't need email on your phone. You notice I don't even have email on my phone. I don't have ads on my phone. I don't have anything on my phone, because you don't need it. Everything that you need and could possibly need is going to be on your computer for work. Like if you've got email on your phone, man, and you've got notifications pushing to you, how the fuck do you relax? Because it's by your side like 24/7 within arm's reach. How on earth are you supposed to wind down and relax and give your brain the chance to breathe when you've got like 3 email accounts with 2 different email apps all pushing notifications to you, whilst you're getting offers from random companies like Deliveroo, or some meal delivery app is sending you the next Italian food deal, and then you've also got like Facebook conversations open, and you're trying to type a comment in a Facebook group on your phone, but then you've got a messenger notification come in, and then someone tries to call you on WhatsApp, and then you receive a voice note on Instagram. It's like, fuck, like just get rid of it. Because when you get rid of it, all the attention that goes into this motherfucker is gonna go into the work. Okay, and you don't have to take this to an extreme, because I still need that phone and I still use it, and it's still helpful for when I'm traveling, and every now and then I might download Instagram and just have a quick look at what my old friends have been up to, but then I realize how much of a mistake it always is, and I get rid of it after 10 minutes. So I'm not saying that you should just completely block all that stuff out of your life forever for the long term, but if you really want to achieve a goal, the quickest way to do that is to not think about what you should do, but it's to think about what you shouldn't be doing and just eliminate that instead. Okay, so that's the first part of this video. So what I'm going to do next is hop into my screen and walk you through how I configure my laptop. Okay, I'm going to go through everything from, well, my desktop to, and a lot of you will have noticed that my desktop's quite clean and quite, straightforward. But I want to do that now, and then we'll roll the video out there. Okay, hey everybody, how's it going? So first of all, there is a truck doing some work outside, so if you can hear something in the background, I do apologise, but I wanted to get this thing done regardless. So let's talk about basically making your computer or laptop as efficient as possible. Now, the first thing that you can do to make yourself more efficient is have a Mac, right? And I'm not saying that because I'm a fan of Steve Jobs or because I want to lick Steve Wozniak's feet. It's genuinely because Macs are faster, cleaner, and more conducive to focus and work, and I would recommend you get one. You don't need to have a Mac to get to 7 figures, right? My business partner works on a Windows PC, much to my dismay. But from my perspective, personally, for me, I can tell you that Macs work better because they're just cleaner, and I've just got used to them and I prefer them. So you might prefer Windows. I'm not saying you have to have a Mac for this to work, but I'm just saying it makes everything a lot easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with, I'm going to sort of make a note here of what I want to cover. And I'm going to the main thing that I'm going to be focused on today are my desktop and then my Google Chrome configuration as well. Okay, because these are the 2 things that I use more than anything, and I feel like it might be quite important to cover them. And I'm really sorry about that thing outdoors, but you might have to just put up with it because my windows are super thin. So, okay, so first of all, what you'll notice is that my desktop is very clean. In my desktop, I only ever have things that I'm currently working on, and I'm usually only ever working on one thing. So first of all, what we can observe here is that the only thing that you can really do anything with is literally a video that I just recorded that you guys just watched, okay, because I'm going to have to edit that into this clip in a second. So other than that, the only thing I've got is a folder of videos that I would have for YouTube. So the other day I interviewed Jamie Costello, one of our clients, and you'll probably be seeing that video quite soon. And then the only thing I have is a workout plan, right, that I'm going to be adding to an app on my phone so that I can basically get more out of the gym. And I'm going through a new program. And so those are the only things that I have. Now the other folder I have up here contains important documents that I use every single day. So our sales script, I have our contracts of agreement for when we sign and onboard a new client, and then I also have an objection handling technique for done for you objections, which is a common one we get. And these are the only 4 things that I really use that I would need from my desktop ever. Now, that's the first thing. The other thing you'll notice is that my bin is empty. right? You want to keep this thing empty, because if your brain just sees that little animation of having trash in the bin, it's just the equivalent of just literally putting like a genuine bin on your desk and just filling it with rubbish. Psychologically, your brain needs this thing to be clean and empty, otherwise it can't relax, at least for me. Now, the other thing I noticed is that I only have like 3 apps in here. I see people down here who have got like their tab thing, this thing here, has like 15 different things in it, and they're all open with notifications pushing. It's like, how the fuck do you get anything done when you've just got like 15 distractions just there, and they're open, and your brain can't do the thing you're focused on, and it's just chaos. So the first thing is just basically get rid of everything you don't need. Now, if I need to access something like email or Slack or something like that, then I can do so by just pulling up my Finder on my Spotlight search by pressing Command Spacebar or whatever that is, and then I can just find it. So if I needed to open up something, I don't know what else I use for work other than Chrome and Slack, and if I want to open Zoom, then I just do this and Zoom will open. And I'm not doing discovery calls today, so it'll bring up my next discovery call, which I've already rescheduled. And so it's just then once I've finished with Zoom, I close it and I quit it, and then I'm back to square one. So you want to see your desktop and you want to see your computer as this holy space that you only ever want to do one thing at a time in. And when you finish with something, you close it and it's done, and in your brain and your mental space it's filed away, and then you don't have to remember it, and you can focus on the thing that you're doing. Okay? When I'm doing discovery calls or sales calls, I close everything except from the call. When I'm working on, you'll see when I'm working on this video, I have nothing open to distract me. And that's how I'm able to produce videos that some people like and videos that have some level of value. Is because when I'm doing something, it's all I'm doing, and I'm not trying to, multitask or do other things. I do the same thing with my desk space. You can't really see it here because obviously I'm on the computer, but in front of me I've got my keyboard, I've got my mouse, I've got a notepad and a pen, I've got a bottle of water, which is probably big, too large, and then I've got my speaker that I'll listen to music to whilst I work, and that's all I have on my desk, right? So first of all, my desk is clean and it's tidy, and I keep it clean. I wipe all the dust away when it gets dusty, and then beyond that, my desktop is clean and tidy, and there's nothing that can distract me here ever, anywhere. So when I sit down to work, the only thing I can do is work. I haven't got my phone on my desk or a screen propped up with a live stream running and some training, and and then I've got like my iPad there. God, if you have an iPad, get rid of that damn thing. You just want it to be clean and straightforward. And so the only 2 things that I really use throughout the day are Chrome and Calendar. Now, you might have other apps that you need to use, or other apps that you use every day. And if that's the case, then by all means put them in here. But for the love of God, don't have them open all the time. Because when you open something, so let's just say I have Zoom open here, right? And the thing I don't like about Apple is that when you click X, it stays open, right? So you just click on it here, it's like minimized. But if you've got something open and minimized, then immediately your brain's like a computer, right? You've got processing power, you've got RAM, right? That's the way to look at it. And when you have something open, even if it's not doing anything or you're not doing anything on it, part of your brain is dedicated towards that specific thing and thinking about that thing and processing it. And so if you really want to produce incredible work and have amazing things come from your work and doing one thing, then you want all your processing power and you want to use all your brain. We hear a lot about people being like, oh yeah, we only use 20% of our brains. Like, physiologically speaking, that's incorrect. But in terms of focus and efficiency, that's 100% true. If you've got loads of shit open, you've got your phone there, everything's flying at you, you've got 3 email accounts, they're all pushing to you. You're trying to watch a training video on here, but then you've also got your iPad here with a YouTube video. You're trying to also eat your lunch at the same time. And then you're trying to do some Facebook ads here, but then you've got some copy to write here. And, someone just invited you to a Facebook group over here. And, there's calendar events about to go. It's just fucking nuts. Like, if I've just described your life and your day and your working situation on a daily basis, you must fix this, because it's impossible to make tangible and meaningful progress and produce anything of value when you don't focus, right? So let's dive into this. So first of all, that's the desktop. Super clean, super straightforward. There's nothing else that you really need to concern yourself with here. There's literally no other reason to have it all messed up. I used to, when I worked in an old office, my old manager, who I got along with really well, her desktop, you couldn't see the background, right? You literally physically could not see what was like behind it. There was just so much stuff there, and it was just chaos and neurotic. And I looked at that and I thought, God, I don't want my work to be like that. Now that might work for you, and it might just be the case that I've got this thing where I can work if there's loads of distractions, don't get me wrong, but I find it easier when there's not. So Google Chrome, right, first things first, if you're not using Google Chrome, then you're already at a disadvantage. If you're using Safari, or God forbid something like Firefox or Opera or something like that, just use Chrome. It's so much better, and there's so many more apps and integrations that you can use that make it easier. So the first thing you'll observe is my zoom, right? So I'm on this big monitor right now, so I don't actually need to worry about this. But if I was to plug myself out of my monitor, I would have my zoom on about 75%. And what this means is it means you can see more stuff on your screen. And it means that if you're looking at a Google Doc, or if you're observing ads, or if you're looking at data or metrics, you can actually see more, and you're not sort of like isolated in. So like when you're looking at metrics, or like trying to do something and you can't see it all on your screen, then you're probably going to miss something. So that's the first thing, is to have your zoom up. But I'm on a big monitor with really wide FOV, so it doesn't even matter. So first of all, what you observe up here is I've got these little tabs, right? Okay, so this takes me to my Google Drive. This allows me to start a Google Sheet. This allows me to start a Google Doc. This takes me to my calendar. This takes me to email. This takes me to Miro, which I use to record videos. This takes me to Trello. And this takes me to WhatsApp Business, which is where we support our clients. These are the only tools that I ever have to use at work. Think about that for a second. Now, there's obviously a few more. Like I need to use Facebook to sometimes support clients through our group. Other than that, like there's going to be a few things that I use here and there. But it's just, you'll notice, like, you just want to sort of look at the things you use every day and just make them readily accessible to you. So if I want to do something and I want to start working on something, then I want to just be able to, like, bang. I need to start a new spreadsheet for the program, boom, it's done. If I'm like, I really want to start a Google Doc, boom, it's there, new, done, And so, like, why you wouldn't have that is beyond me, to be quite honest. So yeah, just that's the first thing, is look at the apps you use. And if you want to know how to do that, then all you really have to do, let's just say I wanted to, what would I want to pin here? It could just be anything, right? Just type a random thing, and of course nothing even comes up there. So let's say I wanted to pin this specific dictionary website. I'd go to Add Bookmark, folder would be Bookmarks bar, press done, and all I do is go edit, and then I remove the name, and then it just gives me the icon, and I drag the icon to my tools. And that's how you do that. So the second thing I have here is my warm app, which is something I use to organize and schedule my existence. Then I have a health tracking sheet, so I can keep a track of how well I'm sleeping and how my diet is. Then I have Trello. So if I click on here, it opens up the main Trello boards that we use for our business. So Trello is a really useful tool because it allows you to visualize your entire operation and keep an organization of basically everything here. And so, immediately I've got every Trello board that I could ever need access to within 2 clicks. So like if I'm, if I close a sale and that sale has VAT, then I want to be able to complete my SOP for post-sale with with the VAT number just by clicking one button and going to VAT numbers. If I want to add an idea to our end product for the end of 2020, which is going to be great, then I just click here and it's just there and I can see it. So that's the other thing. So then I have a folder for sales, organic, Loom, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. These are the main things I work on right now. So sales, I won't open this, but if I open this, it will bring a drop down of all things that I could possibly need to access immediately. Well, actually I can do this because it won't show anything specifically sensitive here. But like if I click sales, then I can immediately go to all of our signed contracts with all of our clients. I can go straight to my team where I can see how my reps are performing. If I want to upload a call recording, then I can just click call recordings. If I want to go to all my sales SOPs, then I can go to sales SOPs. If I wanted to, send out our follow-up email with all of our proof and testimonials, then I've got this here. So like, it's really straightforward. Like, if I close a sale and I need to just complete my workflow, right? First of all, I need to upload the call recording. Okay, awesome, bang, call recordings. We get down to the specific month and the week and it's uploaded, and then I come out of that tab. Then I'm like, okay, I need to send over this email to them. And then maybe I need to add them to my referral tracker. Or maybe I need to add them to my sales tracker. So everything that I could need to complete my job is within 1 or 2 clicks of me. And it makes it more available and it makes things way more efficient. And it also means that you haven't got to sort of like, you haven't got to come in here and be like, okay, drive and then, go into all this crap. It's just easier. So I do the same thing for Loom, LinkedIn, and Facebook. These are our main outreach methods right now. And so I've got my Loom metrics and my Loom engaged prospects here. And if I want to look at my LinkedIn metrics, I can look here. And if I want to look at my LinkedIn engaged prospects or my appointments I got to book, I can do it here. Same with Facebook. And then YouTube, it takes me through to my YouTube folder in Google Drive. So I can basically, if I can show you this, like I'd open it up. I've got my caption template folder. I've got like, if you have to keep producing the same document over and over again, then just make a template for it. And then I can hop into YouTube here and look at all the YouTube videos I've made, and it'll drill down to the week. And then I can just sort of upload the video, which is what I'll do after I've recorded this one, right? So like, if I want to do that, I just go here, I type in ScreenFlow, which is the software I use. I upload this video, I cut it in, I export it, I close and exit ScreenFlow, I upload the export to the Google Drive folder, I then write the caption, then I upload it to YouTube, then I add the caption, then I post it on social media, I get out social media, I get out YouTube, and I'm done. And that process will take me like 15 minutes, right? So yeah, that's the first thing. Now, the main one is things like email, things like social media. So I'm going to sort of walk you through how I have this structured. So the first thing you'll look at with these platforms is I'm not logged in, right? God forbid, Instagram. These things, I do not log into them, because if you're logged into something, part of your brain, even if it's 1% of your brain, is dedicated to thinking about it. And you're more likely to click on it and log in when you're like thinking about shit. So you'll notice like Instagram, like first of all, I never use this ever in my life. So, I just don't touch the thing. LinkedIn, like I sometimes use for work, but I'm not even logged in. And often the case, I wouldn't even have this here. I would just press forget this account, right? So like with Facebook, usually it's just like this, right? Because when you finish using Facebook or LinkedIn, just log out. Seriously, it's the best hack I've found for being productive on these goddamn platforms is do what you need to do, reply to your messages, get through your notifications, and then log the fuck out and forget about it until you have to go in there again. So I have to check Facebook twice a day to support clients through our Facebook group and some support group chats we have. And so what I do is in the morning, I'll log into Facebook. I can do this, right? So I'll log in here. Okay. And now there's a few things that you'll notice about this. You can't see Facebook stories. You can't see any other groups because I'm not in any other fucking groups because I don't need to be. You can't see a Facebook newsfeed here. And I haven't got 3 conversations. I've got 3 conversations here, but they're not all lining up in the bottom here. Right? I've eliminated as much as possible. Now, if you're wondering how I do this, it's through an amazing app called Undistracted. So you can download this just by searching or install it to Chrome. Like this. Let me see. So yeah, Undistracted. And just download this. Honestly, it's fucking amazing. And so first, there's nothing here. I've got my feed hidden. I can't see likes and comments on posts unless I need to turn it on. My chat sidebar isn't here. So what this means is that if you have a job to do on this platform and you're here with intent, then when you land, when you get in here, you eliminate everything that could possibly pull your attention away from the thing you've intended to do. It's like when you walk into a room and then something catches your attention and then you forget why you walked into a room. Times 10 is what usually happens on Facebook. Is you get in here with the intention of doing a post to some of your clients or, taking care of a client's question or something. And then before you know it, you've spent like half an hour just doing absolutely nothing. And then you remember why you were here And you're like, oh yeah, I'll reply to that client. And then by that time you're lost, right? And before you know it, you've gone down like a 3-hour rabbit hole watching fucking Joe Rogan clips or something like that, right? So get rid of it. So when I'm on here, right, I'll come on here and then maybe I'll sort of go like, okay, I want to check on our Facebook group and reply to any client inquiries. And so Jamie here is like, okay, yeah, I listened to sales call recordings from Charlie. They're fantastic listening. Something we have in the program. So I'll hop in and then I'll reply to Jamie. And then maybe like there might be Noor here talking about deliverability. And we'll sort of, maybe there's Tig, right? And I'll hop in here and I'll look at the discussion. And then I'll check my notifications to see if anybody's tagging anything that I need to cover. And then I'll check my messages just to see if there's any clients that I need to reply to with questions. And that's it. I'm not on here to do anything other than support clients. And so I don't have anything that allows me to look at anything other than supporting clients. Because let's remove this, right? Let's take this away. Right? How fucked is this, right? So the next thing is I hop on the platform without these tools. First things first, I see God, okay, so here's an example, right? Sam Evans has got a haircut. That's interesting. I literally, if I wasn't recording this video, I would have clicked on that. Right? There's Serge talking about something. He's a cool guy. Right? Maybe I'd click on that and just watch through his story. And then I also get along quite well with John, and he's up at 4:20. I want to see what he's doing there. Is he working out again? Probably. Oh, Dominic's down here talking about advertising preparation. He's put the word guarantee in full. Oh, that's interesting. Guarantee. What's he guaranteeing? Is he my competition? Oh, God. Oh, look, this guy's gone through a great transformation. Yeah, I'll like that and comment on that. Okay, yeah, this is this. And then you're just away. Unconsciously, you're just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and it's just a fucking waste of your time and your attention, and it completely eats away from everything that you need to do. So come in here and remove it. Now, once you've finished what you need to do on the platform, click this button here, and the most profitable thing you could ever do in your business is log out. Now, there's probably a few more power activities than that, but log out and then remove the account. And then when you need to come back in to do it, you can. And what this means is that you'll probably notice that when I put F in here, like the very first thing that comes up is Facebook. If I put Y in here, the very first thing that comes up is YouTube, LinkedIn, blah, 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 right? You can sort of see this here. But what this means is that when I unconsciously come to Facebook, I'm not just there. I have to click a button or do a couple of things to actually get myself into the platform, which increases the likelihood that I don't get sucked in. So if I do get sucked in, right, I've got sort of like, I've got lines of defense against this damn godforsaken platform, right? First things first, I don't go on it, and I try to remove that as a habit, so I'm less likely to neurotically go through it. And the second thing is I've logged out. So if I want to actually log in, I've got to manually enter my password and type everything in here. And I probably even go as far to remove this. I'm not going to go in here because this will actually show you my Facebook password. But I'd come in here and now that I think about it, I'm actually going to remove Lastpass from Facebook. So if I want to go into Facebook, I have to manually go into Lastpass and find my password and enter it in. And then if that line of defense doesn't work and I log in, then I've got a second line of defense here which removes everything that could distract me and more. So, even when you're logged out, you're not safe. Because when you log out and you come on Facebook, you'll still see these 3 little fucking notifications or however many you've got. And, God knows how many times your brain has associated a red and white symbol with infinite dopamine. So you might think you're like, oh yeah, I don't need to click out of this. Because as long as your brain sees this little thing here, you're going to be like, oh, I'm in there. Wow, okay, stories, feed, messages, groups, value, blah, 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 blah. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. I think the last time I saw a Facebook ad was like 2020. Like, I'm not even joking either. So same thing with LinkedIn. Usually I wouldn't be in here, but if I go into LinkedIn, right, there's nothing, right? So my messaging tab comes up here because I use this for outreach, but there's nothing in here. There's no feed. The other thing is notifications. You'll notice I have no LinkedIn notifications. Now, I would have hundreds of these if I didn't manage this. What you can do when you get a notification from LinkedIn is you can stop receiving notifications that have affinity to ones that you don't want. So let's say there was this one notification that kept repeating itself over and over and over again. or you just come in here and you just press turn off, and then you won't receive notifications like that. So like, okay, here's an example. 5 days ago, my LinkedIn business page, followers have not heard from me in a while, share a post. I don't want to do that. I don't need to share a fucking post. It's not doing anything. So turn off. Never tell me to do that again, right? And this is how you get efficient on these platforms, because I don't think Facebook allows you to do that. I hate Facebook notifications, but LinkedIn does, and we take wins where we can get them, right? So you'll notice about LinkedIn, if I go to undistracted here, right, I can remove the messaging pop-up, but I have that open in case I need to talk to someone, but I never really use this anyway. LinkedIn news, right? Why on earth do you need LinkedIn bloody news? Because it's going to do is just distract you from why you came into the platform. God, if you have your feed open, these polls always get me, right? Always. It's like, if I come into LinkedIn with the intention of sending an outreach message to a prospect or following up on someone, and I come in and I see this, I've immediately now got a Barclays ad showing me something that I didn't need, right, that I might be like, oh, interesting, okay, cool, right, wow, that grabs my attention. Then immediately I'm looking at this poll, do you mind being a nerd? And this calls out to, basically, does this align with my personal identity or not? I'm going to click on this and then read the comments to see if other people agree with me. It's within our human nature to do that. That's why polls are so effective. And then, I'm like, oh, what's news? You can do hard things. Monzo's valuation, I bank with Monzo, wow. 2021 searches, that might be useful. Oh, I can follow Monsoon Accessories. I don't know who they are. I'll check them out and see if I want to follow them. And it's like, okay, cool. What's down here? Oh wow, more polls. Oh, who would have known? Oh, there's a podcast episode. I love Tom, by the way. If you're watching this, Tom, I love you. But here's a podcast episode. I'll watch that quickly. Oh, do you know what I actually might do is I might go and have a listen to one of Tom's episodes, and then I'm off of LinkedIn and I'm watching an episode, and that's another tab open. It's just, what is this? Seriously, when you observe yourself scrolling through these fucking apps or these things, just look at them. How do they add any value to your existence or help you achieve your goal in any way, shape or form? None of them contribute to what you're trying to do. You probably found this YouTube video through, we might have found it through Facebook or something. Oh God, we're going to talk about YouTube in a second. Bloody hell, I hate that thing. But, look at this. What is any of this stuff? It's all rubbish. And I'm not saying this to because I post on these platforms to get these videos to people who need to watch videos like this, so there's a bit of contradiction here. But, none of this is contributing to your goal. It's just stuff that just makes you neurotic and anxious and jealous, and, it's never ending either, right? We've literally got this tool called the infinite scroll, where you can just keep scrolling, and it will just keep serving you up algorithmically tailored dopamine shots straight into your brain, and it ruins everything, and it does not help you. So let's get the hell out of there. Okay, so I'm out of here, right, and you'll notice, there, I'm done, right? So the other thing is other bookmarks. Basically anything you need to have immediate access to, you want to click in here. Really, it's as straightforward as that. This app here is called Momentum. The two main ones that I use here, Adblock is a big one. If you don't have Adblock on your computer, you're nuts, right? I haven't seen an ad in like a year, seriously. And I know I just got one on LinkedIn because I don't think you can block it on LinkedIn. But even then, I don't have my LinkedIn feed on, so I can never see ads anyway. That's like the first LinkedIn ad I've seen in a long time. Adblock is a huge one. If you don't have Adblock on your computer, you're really going to be struggling. Because if you hop into YouTube to do something and then you get an advertisement, then you take the action, then you're away from everything. It's just chaos. So this is like snakes and ladders. Just remove the fucking snakes. Put more ladders in place. It's a quote from one of my mentors in one of his masterminds. Lastpass is a great one for digital efficiency because it will keep a store of all your passwords. I've got Loom here. Momentum is this app. So Momentum is a great app. It's basically it replaces, if I don't have Momentum installed, and I don't know if I can turn this off or something, I don't want to, but if I don't have Momentum installed, then this will show you your top recently visited websites. And that's a problem because your top most recently visited websites are these websites that constantly give you dopamine that distracts you from your work. And so every time you open the app that is the most conducive to you actually being productive, you're immediately sucked away by the things that
you use the most. And the more you use them, the more often they show up in the background of your browser, which means the more likely you're to click them. So it's just like, just get rid of the dumb stuff. Right? It's just like, oh my God, it's insane. Video speed control is a new one that I found recently. And this allows you to speed up any video, regardless of whether or not it has the option for speed ups. So if you've ever had to sit through like a 2-hour webinar just to watch someone's webinar to see how they do something, and you can't speed it up, well, you can do this with video speed controller. You can watch it in like 3 times speed. This also allows you to speed YouTube videos up by like 3 or 4 times as well, which is quite cool, which I would never really do anyway. So yeah, other than that, I mean, the main one is undistracted, because you can get rid of everything. So I don't really go onto Netflix unless it's like in the evening finishing work. But if you have a problem with Netflix, you can just remove all your recommendations. So I'm not going to hop into Netflix because it's got family details on there, but you can do that. I don't use Reddit ever, but if I did, I would use this. I don't use Twitter ever, but if I did, I would use this. Right. So the real secret to this is just to never ever use the platforms again. You can also block them here. The reason I don't have any of these blocked is because if someone sends you a link and it's like helpful and you want to check it out and it's hosted on the platform that you've blocked, then you won't be able to see it, and you might forget you've blocked it and you might think it's broken. So that's that. Now, YouTube is the next one. God, I hate YouTube. Right, I love it because it helps me get these videos out to people, but I kind of have a love-hate relationship with it because it is by far my biggest number one distraction. So with YouTube, the first thing you'll notice is that, well, I don't really have anything on here. I'm not subscribed to anyone. Right? Actually, I think I am on a different account that I use because this is my upload account. But on YouTube, I'm only subscribed to like, I think 4 people, and they're all mentors who produce, weekly helpful content that adds value to my life. So when I hop onto YouTube and I look at my subscriptions, I've only got people that actually can help me and that I know have my best interest at heart. By the way, subscribe, right? So on YouTube, I have my recommendations hidden. So this is a big one. Force redirect to my subscriptions. So because I don't have any subscriptions on this account, what YouTube will do is when I open YouTube is it will force me to have a look at other channels that I could subscribe to. Now the cool thing about this is I don't really have any interest in beauty and fashion. I obviously have interest in comedy, but I've never watched any of these people, so I'm unlikely to subscribe to them and click on their channel. And so like immediately I'm taken through to a page that I have no interest in, which is good because it means that I'm not going to, go down some sort of rabbit hole here. I'm not going to click on Courtney Wall's YouTube channel and then care if she went over or under budget for her Airbnb. I'm just not going to, I just couldn't care less. No offense to Courtney, I'm sure it's a great video, but it just means that because it's not my thing, I'm not going to get distracted by it. So that's the first, and that's a great thing you can do with this thing. So the other thing is I've hidden my sidebar, right? So, if you come onto YouTube and you don't have this hidden, then you'll have all of this stuff here that you can just sort of click through. I want to see my videos or my watch later. All of this. I mean, if you've got videos in your YouTube watch later, you're asking for trouble. Because it's another thing that your brain has to allocate like kilojoules and calorific capacity to in a small way, but just it's still there, so just don't have it, right? If you've got something open, you'll think, oh yeah, I'll watch that, I'll read that in a bit, or I'll read that this weekend. You won't, right? Slight hypocrite here because I've got a Jordan Peterson talk that I'm still listening to, but I just listen to this. I listen to just Jordan Peterson when I'm eating my breakfast, so I'll have one on the go right all the time, but it's helpful. So yeah, the other cool thing. So if I click onto YouTube, I've got no recommendations here. This is massive. Like if I'm on YouTube, the only thing I can do is click the search button, and like I have to sort of search for like one thing, and that's it. So you'll notice here, like this gives a pretty good if you want to know what you get distracted by, you can sort of just have a look into here. So like I like the NFL, so I'll sometimes search for the NFL, and I'll probably do that today because there's some games yesterday, but I'll do it when I'm finished with work. Fugitives is a Call of Duty YouTuber that I used to watch. So like I might be wanting to watch his video. This is a drum and bass mix that I work to sometimes. This is a meme account that my brother showed me. Sidemen, you guys probably know who they are. Flumes, I like Flume songs, I like Subsoul house music, and then I watched some like MMA the other day, and then there's this Overkill by Riot is some weird song that someone showed me. So like this is a good place to start if you want to realize what's distracting you. You can just look at like what you've searched for recently, and this is like what you commonly have searched for. I don't really search for much on YouTube, so when I search for something once, it's like there, because it's the most common, because it's only one time, right? So that's that. You can also remove thumbnails, right? So you can have this on hide or blur. So even if you have your recommendations on, then like you can, I mean, this would be interesting to see, right? So if I go to let's go here and go to agency and open one of my videos, right? So first of all, you'll see that I can't look at my own thumbnails because I've got them hidden. So like I can only look at the title, but then if I have it on show or blur, like it will come up eventually. So if I click on, like, let's say I click on yesterday's video or my most recent video. So a couple of things. So I usually leave the comments on because I read your comments, right? But I haven't got a tab here for next up. The other thing I usually have turned off is autoplay. Because if I'm watching a video and I'm here to watch that video and I don't want to watch any more videos by design, then turn off the thing that forces you to watch another video. Because if I have this on and I get to the end of this, then what it will do, right, if I get right to the end here, is it will queue up another video. Now, you might want to watch this one, which is quite useful, just saying. But like, if you're in a rabbit hole and you're going down this rabbit hole of videos, turn autoplay off and it will just stop you from seeing the next video. So yeah, next up suggestions. If I turn this off, you might see some, like I can't see the thumbnail, so it's just text. It's not as attractive, right? If I've got the thumbnails on here, then boy oh boy am I going to be in trouble. But look at this, right? I hate this. I hate this because you finish watching a video and it's just like, you've just got a bunch of shit here that you do not need to look at. And so get rid of it. The sidebar, I obviously got rid of that. Breaking news. First of all, like, I never ever look at the news ever. But like, if you look at the news, you're also asking for trouble because the news is just like the most emotionally incites so much emotion that you have to keep looking at it because you're afraid of not looking at it because you want to know what's going on in the world. But in the reality of it, none of it matters, right? So those are the main things. The other thing is just get rid of your main thing is just get rid of stuff and turn off the notifications that you don't need to have on and remove the pitfalls that you don't need. Because if you have them there, you'll be in trouble, right? And so you'll notice I've been able to just record like a 45 plus to 10 minutes of the other video. Like it's an hour, almost. This video will be like almost an hour long. Like I've been able to record an hour long video without getting distracted once. I've got 2 clips to cut in. I haven't made any mistakes. Well, I might have made a couple of mistakes here and there, but like I haven't got to cut this thing at all. It's just there's no distractions. There's nothing. It's just the one thing that I'm working on, and I love it because it just means I can get more done. So I don't think there's much else to really cover here. The other thing with email, this is a big one. In your email inbox, if you like. When you receive emails, always look to see if there's an unsubscribe button. Because if you're receiving emails and there's an unsubscribe button, it's highly unlikely you actually need to have that email and future ones that look like that. So when I won't open my inbox, so I've got stuff in there now, but like when I open my email inbox, the first thing I look for is any emails that I can unsubscribe from. And I sort of take pleasure in trying to find these things that I randomly get subscribed to and just like remove. And so yeah, this is it, guys. Like, if you do this, you'll make more money than you can imagine because focus is really where value and money are produced. And yeah, like I even have my calendar here. This is a great thing you can buy on Mac. It's like £2.50 or something. Gcal for Google Calendar. And what this means is like I don't have to open up Google Chrome to get into my calendar. Because I know that just by going into Google Chrome, there's a likelihood that I might quickly go to YouTube or that I might do something stupid. And so, if I know I need to get to my calendar, then I want to try and eliminate having to go through Chrome. So like, you really just want stuff to be as available as possible, and you want to remove the stuff that you don't need, and the stuff that you need to use but is still dangerous for you, like Facebook and YouTube and all this crap. Get apps that stop you from using it, because I can't tell you enough like how difficult it makes it when you have distractions. So that's everything for today's video. I hope it's useful. Sorry for the rant style, but this stuff is just important, right? It allows me to make so much more money because it's just easier, because I've made it easier for myself. So if you like today's video, then just press the subscribe button and maybe comment or not, or like, whatever you want to do. Now, I always say at the end of these videos, like with the subscribe thing, like notifications wise, do not put the bell notification on to be notified when I upload. Go through your YouTube subscriptions, right? Okay, I'm going to leave you with this in closing. Look at your goal and look at what you want to achieve with your life, and then look at what you're doing online and remove everything that doesn't correlate directly to that, bar a few things that maybe still keep you sane and human. So if you're subscribed to like 100 YouTube channels and only 3 or 4 of them actually help you achieve the goal you want to achieve, then unsubscribe from the other 96. They are distractions. They are not necessary and they will hurt you. Same with everything. If you're on Facebook and you've got loads of friends that don't add value or produce, like, you know, people from like high school who you have no association with, you don't really like, and you're only with them for the, you know, for the politics of the friendship stuff, then just remove them. Stop looking at their stuff. If they don't contribute towards your goal, they're not going to be, what's the point? Like, if you don't sacrifice stuff for your goal will become the sacrifice, right? And so don't be afraid to get rid of Instagram. And don't be afraid to, you know, stop using Snapchat. And don't worry about what happens when you get rid of the news, because none of it contributes to your goal. None of it contributes. You're not going to look back in your rocking chair on your porch when you're 85 or 90 years old at the end of your life and think, oh, I'm really pissed off that I removed Instagram from my phone when I was in my mid-20s or my late teens or whatever. I'm really annoyed that I didn't spend an extra hour a day on TikTok. Or I knew I should have left my YouTube recommendations on so I could get sucked into rabbit holes that added no value or meaning to my life. That's not the conversation you'll have with yourself. You'll look back and think, thank fuck you watched an hour-long video on, you know, that was done by someone in December of 2021 that told you to get rid of all that crap, because it will make a huge difference. So, like the video and subscribe if you liked it. And in the link below, in the description, you can find a link that will take you through to a landing page that will tell you how we help agencies get clients. And there will also be a Facebook group in there as well. Now, I know it's a bit ironic for me telling you to go to a landing page and also to go through to a Facebook group, but the Facebook group that we have is designed to add value. It's not designed to do anything other than that. And so I promise you it's a safe place to be. But other than that, like, I don't really have anything else. I haven't got an email list for you to subscribe to or any of that crap. And I hope this is useful. So I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.